Hello. We are going to make ourselves a wonderful Day of the Dead spirit cake. Here are the ingredients. I'm just flashing them in front of you so that you know what you might want to get. Don't worry, you can always substitute something you see me holding up with something you might prefer. And I'm going to go back and forth between voiceover bits and you getting to listen to actual audio taking place in the middle of the ceremony. For we are not just baking, we are starting sacred ceremony together. I hope you enjoy. Hey there. I'm just popping in to let you know that if you hear
this voice, then you are hearing me as the witch.
and
If you hear this voice, you're hearing Stacy as the doll.
I had to do voiceovers because of the fact that the background had licensing music and I didn't want to get any copyright strikes. So I had to take all of that out. I hope you enjoy this little romp into a Day of the Dead cake making ceremony. It may seem playful and maybe sometimes irreverent, but it was done reverently. We were in ceremony from, I believe, around 8 p.m. that evening till about 4 in the morning. So you just got the snippets of us filming and being a little bit more on the playful side. I hope you all are happy, healthy, and well. Blessed be.
Let all of our loved ones who are drifting around us with joy that we're doing this.
Do you want incense? Green Terra incense. Yeah. Get it, ow.
Show them, girl. We cannot survive without Coco.
To put this next clip into context, right before we even started baking, as the ceremony had been set, we immediately started invoking those who had crossed into the recipes, which was lovely and spontaneous. So as you hear us talking about my mother as a baker, her mother who was a soup maker, and of course the grandmas that she called in, you will understand.
Mom, fantastic baker.
My mom did not do any baking soup maker. But she didn't boil the bones. I just love soup because she made soup. Turkey soup that she made was my favorite.
Well, my mom was good at everything except for pancakes.
She made wonton soup, made of a broccoli with a little bit of bacon, and some soy sauce that was banging nice. Cauliflower salad, crave it.
Oh my goodness, look at this. The universe decided to bless me with the baking powder. Ooh, look, Dwayne. Just because you're in the room doesn't mean have to be that obvious, okay? He's like I powdered just on you.
I'm sorry I never met him.
I wish you had. Nothing would have made me happier. Coco is from the rainforest. You know that, right? Pods cocoa seeds. Cacao nibs.
I thought you were talking about my cat.
And so right now, as I'm mixing this, I'm not smelling chocolate. I'm smelling sacred vine. Cocoa is hydrophobic, and I'm not talking about your cat.
Coco!
It's from the rainforest.
Doesn't like to be in the water either.
Letting the milk and the cider do its magic dance.
Dance magic, dance, 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 dance magic, dance.
My actual bill of just the baking goods was $80.
That's an expensive cake right there.
This is for those we love who have crossed.
Now my Amma could bake. She loved a pound cake. I think that woman literally lived till 90. 90 for something, wow.
We're calling Oma into the vanilla right now. Is that what we're doing? Because that's really cool.
Oma literally could survive on cold coffee and pound cake or a piece of bread with butter and honey. And that was it. Like all day.
It was the fact that you invoked your Oma into the ceremony. And I invoked my mother. Yeah, because my mother is the baker. I don't have a traditional mixer. 'Cause you didn't have one. And I couldn't find mine. So using this is a first for me. I don't have a choice, right? So I'm making do with what I have. You are my teammate. Folding in thoughts of the people you love. Fold in thoughts of everybody you love right now. We're folding their hearts in. All we gotta do is add some honey somewhere. Hey, Dwayne, if you stuck around long enough, I would have made this for you. You love baking.
So, Dwayne, in some reality, I would like for us all to just be friends with. Everybody with a body at the same time, yeah.
We would like that.
Get it. I love when you say get it. Get it. Get it. I mean it too. Hot water.
Okay, Dwayne, that was a little over-exuberant of you. You didn't need to do that. Everything was going so smoothly till it wasn't. I'm done. I'm gonna fold the rest with a normal spatula, 'cause I'm covered with cocoa. And I just feel like I turned into a toddler. It's supposed to activate the bloom. That's what the woman said.
Madam in Between Worlds comes through. She don't give a fiddle what I'm doing. So this whole goo thing is your thing.
Products and things explode on my chest and body. All the time. I don't have enough followers. And we don't even know if this will turn out. Hopefully it will. Let the spirits be on our side for good cake.
Well, I'm asking for the ancestors to make this go viral. That's right! Baking a cake! For dead people who have a sense of humor.
My spirit husband decided that he wanted to splurge all over the kitchen and myself because he wants to be the dedication of the icing. Because he's the icing on top. Yes, he's a very active spirit. And you should never upset your active spirit husband. We're just following his instruction. Definitely got me in the face. He was enjoying himself. He managed to get cocoa inside the butter wrapping.
There was a very specific moment where she put on a playlist, and the playlist was playing songs at random. The choice of Bob Marley was my dear beloved Dwayne, who, as you know, I refer to as my spirit husband. And I refer to him as my spirit husband because he has ascended to a beautiful space which is practically godlike. And he has a lot of influence over the world of the living. He's graduated quite well. I'm also going to create a link about spirit husbands so that you can understand more about it. I died 2 times. He died 2 times. We both died in the same years, and I believe that we intersected in spirit realm, and therefore we have a certain amount of permission to flow with each other from god and goddess status or undead status, whatever you want to call it. But it is definitely an intriguing thing, and I can tell you many stories of how we intersect and how he can influence things as we go. Whew.
He sent me the song once. We sang 3 Little Birds to each other in the kitchen. Explains why he wanted Marley.
Rise up this morning with the rising sun. 3 little birds, they're on my doorstep, singing sweet songs, memories pure and true. This is my message to you, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
We are still married. All right, but my dear friend Stacy, just said that she's gonna do a healing session on me as a gift toward me on this wonderful Day of the Dead, November 1st, to honor my lost beautiful spirit husband. And she's invited him to come in and share the evening. He's the one who chose the music for the frosting he wanted. Bob Marley. What she did not know is back in the day, when we were making our wedding plan, we were in his kitchen in the house, and we were making a meal for each other, and smoking a little green, and dancing, and singing. Specifically, Three Little Birds. I was in that state of bliss that he was singing with me, because my favorite thing is somebody who's willing to sing with me while I'm cooking, because the song goes into the food and makes the food taste better. So if you cook and you don't sing and dance, you're leaving out a very important ingredient. So when somebody says it was made with love, that's what they mean. Maybe for them they don't sing and dance, but something close to that needs to happen. Right now, Stacy's in the background, dancing her cute little butt off. We're singing the song for him in honor of him. That's his buttercream. Don't worry about a thing song. Nice and smooth, like his love lifestyle. That boy was nice and smooth. I'm not kidding, sir. You could take a note out of his book about what nice and smooth is. No frosting left behind is the creed of this household. Story time I used to. When I lived as Stacy's roommate, I used to lick the blender, very close to the blades, and on top of the blades. And I would give her heart attacks, and she would say, "You're gonna cut your tongue." My tongue knows versatility. I never cut my tongue. It wasn't like it was a prophecy about to happen here. Don't be mad at me, that's a little bit grainy.
Sugar scrub for your tongue.
Rose petals for love. What you do is take the plate, put it down on top first.
Yeah, I get it.
I hope it went in one go. It's a clean Mother Goose cake. Thank goodness. This is what excitement looks like.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm not tall enough to see where the eyes are.
This one I'm gonna show you guys, since the other one worked. So you put the plate over top like that. And then you violently place it. And it should fall right out, oh. With this one, not so clean.
But close enough. Oh, it's delicious.
Okay, time to put some stars in this grin. Look how cute that grin is.
This portion of the episode, we're going back to the true audio recording, as all of the music that was in the background is now turned off, and you get to enjoy us as us rather than the witch and the doll. So enjoy the rest. Look before you at this beautiful layout. Isn't it ready and stunning to be iced? Here we are in a beautiful celebratory space to the people that we have loved, who no longer are dressed in a typical human form, could be rather dressed in rainfall and starlight. We honor them with how we embrace them and how we remember them. This beautiful creation that's not done yet is a spirit cake. And I won't lie, I had some spirit cake. Oh, yes, I did. And I haven't even frosted yet. Already feeling the influence of what it's like to dine with our beloved ones who reach out across time and space and through the stars. And so it's going to be a pleasure to ice this and decorate this, knowing that these last moments of this magical creation are the moments that highlight the actual delight we experience when we love people. The mixing and the swirling of ingredients and the tedious little tasks that we're willing to do for the people we love. For them, we will put ourselves to the task. Then you end with this beautiful creation of absolute sweetness, where all those highlighted moments of laughter and going places that are unforgettable just become the whole song. In service to each other, we become the whole song. And so with that, we are going to decorate this beautiful beast, which I lovingly dub all people who have ever loved and all people who are above and below. I dub you Spirit Cake. You bind us in the beautiful life and death cycle where we always meet each other again and again. Decoration time! We're going to talk about the decorations a little bit. Every single thing I chose for this recipe, I go as close as possible to organic. It's important to me that when you're doing ceremony, that you're being super thoughtful about what you're putting in your body and the ingredients. And the more you believe you're deserving of these healthy things that may have pinched you a little too hard, the more you realize you are worthy of self-care and self-love. A lot of the times we forget how to be that person to ourselves. And I was mentioning earlier that in the behalf of people who can't, no matter how much they want to, afford ingredients that are healthier or organic because of how imbalanced our system is, spirits know their love and intention and transmute that magically inside of them, but they still deserve the best. So I want you to be aware of the fact that if you are pinching the witchy pennies, everything you do is just as magical. But because I was willing to blow it on the Day of the Dead ceremony, throw the money into the cake, this is an expensive cake, and it's so very small, and we need to fix that because of rice flour, as you noticed when I was showing you the ingredients, and then flowers for the ofrenda, for the offering to our dearly beloved. We have the beautiful little decorations that I'm going to be putting on the cake, and that I chose M&Ms, and these are gummies. We have the owl here to represent Athena's familiar. She's also holding the owl in her hand. And we have the owl protecting the sugar, so making sure to bring all that energy. In many traditions, the owl represents death, and so this is the good day to call the owl to bring our dead relatives and friends to be part of the whole feast. We have the 2 white pumpkins to represent that partnership that we all have with the people we really care about. Fun witchy fact, the Spirit Cake video was filmed last year, November 1st, 2022. And then this year, when I decided I was going to finally finish the entire video, I was filming this backdrop, and these 2 little white pumpkins are the children of the 2 pumpkins from last year, because when I was done with those pumpkins from last year, I threw them out into the garden, and then they volunteered themselves, and I got a beautiful patch of white pumpkins. Now that is a beautiful gift from our ancestors and those that have crossed, blessed be. A big old hunk of rose quartz hanging out. Stacy contributed this lovely, wonderful rose quartz flame because we're here at her house. And she also contributed all this, in fact. I contributed the food parts. And we have our lovely white goddess and black goddess holding down the yin and the yang of all things and all people and all colors, holding it together for the rainbow prophecy. And then, of course, we have our lovely crystals, shining and shimmering and holding the mineral world together on the altar. Roses, again, for love. Daisies for friendship. Every little thing has a special place, and nothing's random. You want to do really good magic, you throw yourself into it like you're making love. Put your all into that stuff. So this is my all for all of you. And I hope you enjoyed everything you saw. And I hope you're laughing with me or at me, because I love laughter. So it doesn't matter if it's even at me. I'm thrilled that I could give you a laugh. Because I am a corny... She's been the best assistant I have ever had in my life. Everything went so smoothly, and it's so nice to be cared for. That's a good girlfriend. If you have girlfriends in your life that don't literally stand up by your side and get it all in it, all the way up to the elbows in it, you need to work on that, kids. Focus on icing, or we are not going to bed. No. Yeah, it's icing time. I'm going to try my best to ice away from myself so you guys can see what I'm doing. I've never done this before, so it might get really weird and messy. My hands are completely clean. They haven't been anything they shouldn't. So if you see me smushing things down, and I know you already have, where I was smushing down the inside of the mouth and the eyeballs, I even clean under the nails, like a chef should. I wash my hands over and over again. This is important if you're going to cook for friends. I don't care how many times you need to wash your hands. You wash them. And I spent some of the time covered in chocolate because my dear beloved Dwayne decided that he needed to share his ecstasy with me with chocolate. And if you guys see the clip where you see the chocolate go everywhere, it's not because my hand slipped. You might have noticed that everything was going so smoothly, but what went wrong is the mixer literally broke and chocolate was all over me from head to toe. It got inside of packages. Inside, that's not supposed to happen. The packages were wrapped. It was inside the butter wrapper. I was like, oh, we had chocolate in every crack and every crevice. I sprinkled candy and sugar into the eye, nose, and mouth. And because it was still hot when I did it, it crystallized inside, which I think is so really cool because it's like a literal candy layer. So if you do what I did and you actually put the candy bits in when it's still hot and let them melt, you have jelly candy. It's so cool. Okay, so take it from me. This is a happy thing. I thought it would make it prettier and that I wouldn't have to put candy as far down because I didn't want to have giant hunks. I didn't have enough candy. I didn't want giant hunks of candy like sunken down. I wanted them up at the surface to make the sugar skull nicer. So this is just a great hack. Sugar, hot candy. I was supposed to have powdered sugar, but I think that Amazon sent me the wrong sugar. And I didn't bother looking closer because it is grainy. But yeah, a sugar scrub for your tongue. So I'm going to try and put it on the cake as nicely as possible, but I am not gifted in this part. Usually I'm too rough and I kill the cake. I'm asking my lovely assistant, who I just said is always helping me in the kitchen.
This is so much pressure. I can't handle this.
Oh no, this is the knife you gave me? You guys, this is the knife you gave me?
Use all the other knives.
Okay, look, seriously? I already said that I'm a little heavy-handed when I'm icing, and she brings me one where I can murder the cake.
Like a butter knife? Like a little knife?
Yes, thank you.
Here.
Oh my God.
You need to be real specific when it comes.
Apparently she had plenty of knives, but her brain went like murder, okay? So I just want you to know. I want you to know that there might be some repressed feelings she's having about what's going on lately.
I did. Might be a little aggressive.
Needed a little prompting to get the butter knife, but it is in my hands. Huzzah! Maybe I can do this without massacring it, because I just said I was heavy-handed.
Okay.
Okay, people, breathe with me. We're going to pretend I'm good at this, and I'm going to pretend I'm spackling a wall. That's the way I'm going to do this. I'm not trying to desecrate their graves, The cake that I have prayed into. I do not want to brutalize them.
Maybe it wants to be exfoliated.
Let my ancestors guide my hand so that it is like a fine and lovely sculpture. Let the ancestors sing to me. Oh, put it on my cheek, a bit on my cheek. Oh, I like it like that, like rouge.
Oh my God.
Put it on my chin because it makes me feel thin. Yes, because I'm a skeleton. And you guys who actually know how to cake, don't show me any shade. I suck at this. And I'm good at a lot of art, but this is not one of them.
So I think baking is one of those really exacting things.
It really is.
Why
like trying to caress a lover. You want to be gentle. Men, this is your hint. More gentle than this. If you feel like it would pull crumb up off the cake, you're doing it too hard to start. So gentle. Don't hurt her crumb. Don't be me. I'm not gentle with her crumb. I'm trying though.
I might have to eat the butt. I need to eat that. You may need to take that skull home. I don't know what's in that skull.
What happened there? We made love to the cake. Suddenly, no, do you see this? It's so cool. It's like suddenly all smooth.
You've probably warmed up the temperature over there.
Okay, people, make love to your cake. Fun hack, like water for chocolate. Just it's like, look, see, you know what I said? You can go faster if you're gentle to start. Look at that fine, handsome brow coming out of that friendly little skeleton relative. Look at that. It's all been warmed up. It's made us laugh. All the hard bits are over, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. And I know that you're supposed to have more than one layer, but I didn't realize that if we were gentle enough, right, the icing itself would be sticky and make it easier just to work with the icing itself, because it, like, that first layer is more like spackle. But I've always been like really sparing with my icing, which is probably the reason why I brutalized these things. So I guess the next bit of advice is don't be sparing. We're talking about love life stuff. It just kind of popped up out of the ancestors. And they're like, part of the problem is you guys are too sparing. They're like, lay it on thick, make it count, get into it. My whole life, I've never really liked icing the sides. I don't have a lot of patience. Usually it's right about now that I would just eat the whole cake. Not the whole cake, because that doesn't work ever. Because the cakes I make are genuinely good and very delicious, filling. You would never know that it's completely gluten-free. If you've ever tried to ice a cake out of camera on the side, like what I'm doing right now, you're very talented and I respect you. Now it's time to make it convenient for me. Getting the guy to take it on the chin. We're like, hey dude, you know what? Sometimes you gotta use a sense of humor and you gotta take it on the chin. Oh yes! I asked Miss Stacy to bring the boy and girl crystal skulls because I said, as we decorate, we should have our little crystal skull family join us. These beautiful pieces of crystal skull magic, because look, everybody can have a crystal skull that's magical.
Human wisdom and the crystal kingdom have a baby, and are looking at you going, hey, would you like some of that wisdom? Perhaps like to be connected to a higher mind, connection to a higher level of wisdom of humanity in general.
It's just a beautiful woman who's off camera with me, Stacy, hosted basically a play date for crystal skulls, where everybody got to bring their crystal skulls to a workshop and not only learn about how to use crystal skulls, but find out what their crystal skulls' personalities and names were. And they were so excited to have their little crystal companions to find out what. And here's the thing, is since they are able to focus energy, you're literally channeling the energy of a deity or an angel or whatever right into a crystal. It's like a telephone. And so, yeah, everybody's sitting there trying to figure out, well, does my telephone have a specific job that it's supposed to do? Who is my telephone? It was really beautiful to see the curiosity. And also that's part, I think, a really important spiritual lesson. When you're starting to actually listen to spirits, you can't just try and push for knowledge. You have to be open to hear, which means out of nowhere you'll hear a name or you'll experience like some sort of thing. And you're like, well, okay, I guess this thing is supposed to be attached to the skull. So maybe somebody names theirs Iron Butterfly, and it's because they were listening to like Iron Maiden when a butterfly landed on their freaking face. Because that's how it gets. That's what it's like.
I would say that if there's anybody who wants to work with crystals, but you don't want to work with a higher individuated layer of consciousness, like connecting into something just, a few levels up. If you're not interested in individuating into some kind of wisdom, skip things with faces. Potential of the mineral kingdom in a much more neutral format. Don't get anything with a face. When you're ready for something with a face, crystal skulls are great.
I'm not calling it mystery anymore because we have to be fair to the girls and the boys. My gender neutral skull.
Well, it is.
This is a skull that represents all men and all women and every single imaginable they, them, and other, so that you understand that you are all one family.
Well, that's the beauty of the skull, right? You can't tell what gender.
You don't know. You don't know what their skin color was in life.
You just
don't know whether they were a boy or a girl unless you specifically study this stuff.
Right, unless you
You're just looking at the bones of somebody who once was here and once liked to cry and once had a laugh. And you have to actually experience them as a blank slate. Only your imagination can tell. So this skull is everyone, and everybody should recognize it as everyone because it's just a skull. It's rustic, I know, but I'm not that kind of finicky person when I'm doing magical stuff to get out like a hot knife and try and make it glaze perfect or anything. And again, like I said, I'm not. This is my first time making frosting, and I don't think I had the right ingredient. I think I was supposed to get a finer sugar, but I was trusting Amazon and whatever. It's a little bit crunchy, but I still, like I said, it's yummy. I'm like, normally I wouldn't even made it this far. I would have already been eating the thing. But if you're in ceremony, you don't just, you have to commit to the end. This was just me. No, I would eat my ancestor exactly like this.
Look, mine's not even a skull.
I'm decorating it aesthetically for you guys to understand how deep you can go with ceremony.
Yeah.
But that's not like I wouldn't, if I was feeling it, eat like this and then just these things raw in a handful. So I'm getting fancy. I'm putting my all into this to represent all the people I love.
Yeah.
All my relatives. I'm going all the way. This is an over the top. I'm going all the way with this one. Oh yeah, the vanilla was expensive. It's time to make the love just appear. I love you, whoever you are, whatever ancestor decided to be here. This has been a really fun ceremony. I'm not talking to you. The skull grabbed that blue M&M out of my hand and stuck it in its eye socket. And I was like, are you showing? Let's go to the fact that some of the skulls, of course, dedicated to Dwayne, who loved cooking in the kitchen. And I mentioned that with us singing in the kitchen. And like, honestly, we were sloppy lover ceremony kitchen people. Everything tasted amazing, but everything looked like it was dog vomit because we just wanted to be done eating so that we could be all over each other as fast as we possibly could. Haphazard is okay in magic. Haphazard and messy, it still matters.
Thank God.
It's the enthusiasm. It's the enthusiasm. It's the intensity. It's the intention, right? It's genuinely something you have to enjoy and like be willing to be silly about, because if you get so serious that you're sad about the magic cake you're making, you did it wrong. And I'm like, well, I mean, it could have been better, but it's magic and I've already had some and like I would eat this right now and I'm holding back with all my power. I promise I will finish you the way I started you, with tenderness. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. Sorry.
It's growing on me.
You guys, again, if this is what your magic looks like, you're doing it right. Okay?
Oh my God.
You know how they say witches cackle, right? Did you ever wonder why?
That was a great laugh.
Witches cackle because they have something worth cackling about. They get the inside joke.
Already eating some chocolate because you like been baking things around
I've
all day.
I've been begging her to slow down so she has room in here for the cake.
I will eat cake.
This is a cake full of love and sensuality and alchemy. And how many times have I told you that love, sensuality, and alchemy is exactly what should be in your life? And if you don't eat a love, sexuality, alchemy cake, what the fuck are you doing complaining? So don't make me hold you down. Even when I'm sassy, I'm actually thinking about everybody. It's like I don't get distracted, but I do have fun. So pressure. How many flowers do I want to put on them? Okay, fine. It will be a flower crown. And that was Coco's call.
Coco.
She said, flower crown. Did you hear that? What are we going to do next? I don't know. And she went,
I'm pretty sure she said, go get me a treat. Guinevere.
She is. She says, that's what you do next. You put the flower crown on because, like, what is a skull without a flower crown?
Oh, look how cute.
They're just little puffs of purple. I'm going to give it a third eye because I don't know if these are poisonous. Daisies are always edible. So
I'm having a flashback to the first week I ever lived with you.
That's the running joke. I just told her to be careful about whatever was in the refrigerator.
It was, the whole witchy thing was very new to me.
And I said to her, not all of the stuff in the refrigerator is edible. Right when she removed the cat from the counter, this fell off the counter on the other side. These are edible. Roses are always edible. A lot of grocery store flowers are edible because they know that children will just shove them in their mouths. But you should always double check. And when I pull off this piece here, because I always think ahead, I make sure to make all the icing goes with it. Don't eat these. I shouldn't have to tell you it's a decoration. But I'm telling you now, even though you could eat these and not die, it's not going to be tasty.
It's like salad.
So if out of nowhere you get a crazy feeling that you have to eat the flower decoration, the answer is always no. Okay, unless it's on a salad.
Yeah, put it on a
When it's on a salad, the chef wants you to eat that flour. He wants you to know that flour will make this salad amazing. So as far as this, edible, but don't eat it. Okay. And then this, I don't know, so I'll make sure I'll get all the frosting.
It's like putting a tomato in a fruit salad.
It's just, you have to be conscious about what you're doing, The next thing we're going to do, I like to use the term blood of our relatives. Now, roses, Well, because the blood lives on us, right? So
get
we
it.
are our relatives' blood. So I'm my mother's blood and my father's blood, and we're all each other's blood, and that's what makes blood types and blood things so interesting. And so blood magic, so to speak, the roses to the dead
Just
person.
to be clear, we don't have a chicken anywhere.
Yeah, no chickens have been sacrificed.
Okay.
Wait, eye of newt was mustard seed.
I know, that I know.
So it's like if you
That
say
don't
this is
scare
the
me.
blood, this is the blood of your relatives. That's how magic works. So like if we were doing a spell book, we'd be saying a rose was the blood of the relatives. So we're gonna have some fun with the petals.
Should be blushing the way you've been talking.
Just a little bit of love. Just sink those petals into the icing like I know what I'm doing. Everything you do puts power into it. The laughter, the silliness, the passion. You have to be in your feelings when you're doing this kind of stuff.
I actually now feel that there's a distinct presence about that cake now. Now I'm not laughing. Like the flowers are actually, like, the more flowers you are putting on the cake, the more presence it has.
Embodied.
Yeah. Dude.
Because we're using the blood of our relatives.
I think you're a witch.
Oh no, she's on to me. What will I do when she knows I'm a witch? Will she tell her friends to shun me?
We should have you do this and, like, have people come in like Monty Python. She's a witch. She's a witch.
She turned me into a newt. You're not a newt now. I got better. Still have that much rose petal left.
Got
I'm going to
it.
put that
Okay.
right here.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting the feeling that we need a pink rose for higher consciousness of love. These are broken pieces, and I always offer anything that falls off or broken to the garden as a further tithing to the dead. So all my flower bits always go back to nature as my way of saying to all the dead friends, I love you and I hear you.
Yeah.
And here's some flowers and some food.
Yeah, give her some lashes. She wants some lashes.
Don't give up on the fun part.
So it's starting to feel like a she to me. No offense.
Well, it switched. We started with some horny dudes, and now we have a lovely woman.
Okay.
Let me explain the magic of it. Okay, in the womb,
Yeah.
everyone starts as a girl, and then decides somewhere along the line to be a boy. So we're all each other's sex at the beginning. We are all literally each other's sexes at the beginning before a sex is chosen by the baby.
So a neutral human.
Yeah, we're all neutral. We're all theys and thems until a decision is made by a chromosome swap. So when we're calling in all our relatives, we're calling in the lusty and randy boys and the loving and desirable girls. And everybody who made us laugh and taught us beautiful things. And obviously it's like the dedication again to the people we really love and care for. And you know what? I think this beautiful little skull that's every single sex and every single color and every single being and even extraterrestrial needs, I think it needs a nice sprinkling of gentle purple, like it's a sugar skull.
Okay.
Because I love that. I love that energy for this cake. It's pretty much very, it just needs one little touch. Can I have a tiny spoon?
Oh, Jesus.
Kitchen goblin?
Where's my spoon?
Do you have a tiny
Oh,
spoon?
I get one of the silver-plated spoons for you, mistress.
This will do.
Oh,
Okay, wait, hand it to me. So she was gonna hand me, okay, remember how she went all hog with the dangerous knife? She was gonna hand me this, and I just needed a small spoon for details. But we were gonna go for it. It was gonna be a thing, people. It was gonna be a thing. She wanted me to pour it on, and she was, and in her mind, I could read her mind. She was singing, "Pour my children on me in the name of love." And I was like, okay, a little overkill. I just need details.
Well, this is some good laughter. This is some really good, deep laughter.
So pretty. It's not, again, remember, it's a feral cake. I'm doing the best I can. It's feral.
Well, I mean, you know,
It's
so
a cake.
are you.
It's a cake full of laughter, and it's a cake full of love,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a cake full of ceremony. Oh, so pretty.
She's a witch.
Oh. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Tibetan sand painting, because as soon as I'm done doing all this love, we're eating this thing. You're not bowing out of this. This is some potent magic. There is no running and hiding from this. It's inevitable. This is what fate tastes like.
Have you met me?
Right here. This is fate right here. It's a spirit cake. It was about time you had one.
Yeah, I don't
Think how
cake.
you've gone your whole life without ever sinking your teeth into a cake made of actual magic.
There were a couple
real
times
magic.
when we lived together that you made baked goods.
Uh-oh, that's true.
I've had you make goods.
Okay, people, there are stories attached to her having my baked goods, and they are funny stories.
Yeah.
Okay, I am done. That felt good. Also, I get an A for effort because Stacy provided me with these awesome trays, which, I mean, seriously, come on. Being able to pick and choose decorations from something like this, and it's probably came from the 99-cent store, right? Totally affordable.
Dollar Tree, dude.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just so you can get something like this for your altar that's like cheap and
Same
easy.
Same with the plates.
Yeah.
I went in there specifically knowing I could theme out our Halloween without too much. Make it just a little bit more special with an actual sugar skull. All over
Right?
the place.
So,
Yeah.
last notes before we actually sit down and enjoy this lovely cake is all these extras that you see are all blessed as much as the actual cake itself. Because as you start the ceremony, and as you guys didn't see off screen, there was lots of chat, lots of love, lots of dancing around in the house. There was a lot of activity that was taking place behind the scenes. And we're just two girls. We don't have the second or third camera person for that. I don't think I'd want them watching us dancing anyway. But
Truth.
here is the results of a lot of love and a lot of stories and a lot of talking about the relatives and our loved ones who've passed. And so everything here is literally sacred. That's it. This is all spirit food, okay?
Yeah.
And that means that these flower bits and all these little bits here, when they're done, we give them to a river. And then the corn chips were specifically asked for by my beloved spirit husband, Dwayne, because corn represents the indigenous nations. So we have the corn chips, and another person, I'm not going to mention name, asked for those corn chips too. So, and it was really funny because Stacy left them on the altar, because now it was officially an altar. It was the only thing she put on here that shouldn't have been on here, and it was corn chips. And I was like, oh, well, they're loud tonight. They're loud tonight. They're like, you put corn on that plate. We want corn. And she has an idea about corn, and we may snip this out for her stuff, but she's literally thinking about putting corn inside of phalluses, dicks, to marry the sacred corn mother energy with the divine masculine so they can pop. The idea is
So
luscious.
satisfying. Yeah.
The idea is what magic is about.
Yeah.
So being able to think in these ways that are so visceral helps magic. Like, we know that we throw mustard seeds in a fire and that popping and crackling adds energy.
So satisfying, those pops.
So satisfying. The yummy bits will go in our tummies, and all these little snacks that are still left over will go toward, just snacking and being in a thoughtful way. We'll split. The pumpkins will stay at my house to represent bringing blessings home with me. So they came to absorb and spend energy and time. This is the way we all link with each other. This is the moment. Now we get to eat. We get to enjoy this.
All right.
I'm really happy with this.
Sad eye.
So this is what a completed altar would look like. When you're done decorating, you finally take all the ingredients off your table and you lay out your final bits and pieces. And as you can see, we lovingly and delightfully created this skull, and it has these beautiful leaves coming down out of the mouths of the lovely, what are the names of your kids over here?
The skulls?
Yeah.
One is Columbia and one is Dolce Vita.
Pink is Columbia?
No, that's the smoky quartz.
Okay, Columbia and Dolce Vita. So that's just nice. And then, of course, we have our little pumpkin layout. We have our crystals. And that's it.